Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays City Skylines. Without further ado, let's get restarted here. Admittedly, I'm a little concerned about our financial situation. I really don't want the game to do what it does when you end up in a financially terrible situation and it just bails you out. Because when it bails you out, you lose the ability to get achievements, and it kind of feels like you copped out a little bit. We can always say no to it, but this is, if nothing else, an indication that I probably built a little. How do you not have power? Like, you should have power in an instant here, yeah. It's an indication that we maybe built a little bit too big too fast. And our electricity is going to be a slight problem as well. People have not started telling me that taxes are too high, though. All we really need to do, for sure, is make it to 1,900. And once we make it to 1,900 people, which will happen roughly within the next week, we can get ourselves out of this bucket of syrup. We'll get a cash advance, which actually is not really cash advance. It's just cash. We don't ever have to pay it back. And we'll get the ability to put down another wind turbine, which should solve our problem here, but it's gonna be a little close. Come on. A little faster. 12 more people. That's all we need. Okay, here we go. Boomtown. That wasn't me saying Boomtown. That was like, we reached a Boomtown. It's not like a new catchphrase of mine. All right, now we have a little bit of extra money. We definitely, without a doubt, need to start building wind turbines. The question is, financially speaking, are we okay with building advanced wind turbines right now? I think the answer is honestly, probably. So, I mean, considering how much does it cost? 20? Oh, it costs 12, so it costs double what the wind turbines cost, but it's gonna produce like triple here. So we're gonna put it down right next to, yeah, we're gonna put it down right next to here. And it's gonna just instantly add 20 extra megawatts into our grid. I said instantly, there we go. So now we have nothing to worry about power-wise. Let's take a quick look at water. Water's totally fine. Just make sure the power is propagating out here. Good, everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Let's take a quick look at what our next milestone is. 3,800, so we got a long way to go. Financially, we might want to hold off a little bit. Just make sure that we're okay. What does this mean? Yeah, there's just no police, okay. We probably just want to hold off a little bit, make sure we're kind of coming out of the situation that we were in. Next thing we can do is, and it's a little bit risky, but we can start bulldozing these wind turbines and basically just building in a new area here. Crime rate is high. Is it ever going to leave because of that? Like, building in a new industrial area is what I meant to say. We're going to end up with a weird little traffic situation here. But anyway, for now, this is fine. Huge demand for industrial areas, and it looks like, financially speaking, we're going to come out of our conundrum here. So why don't we throw down a cemetery? It would be nice if our cemetery kind of handled all of our residential areas. So let's take a quick look. We'll zoom out, put it down here. That handles all of our residential areas. I think we can get away with this for now. And in putting that down, that's actually going to make some people very happy. I think we only need one of those for now. I would love to put another police station down. I can't believe, like, what is our landfill getting robbed, or what's happening there? I don't understand. Orange is the new black. All right. I mean, it's obviously a reference. I like the show. That's okay. What, you're robbing, like, our medical clinic? So we need to put a police station down. Where's our other police station? It's right there, and it still can't stop the crime in this area? That's very disappointing, because I would really like to put a police station up here. We also are having some fire-related issues, but the firemen... Oh, that's not fire. I always make that mistake, by the way. The fire crews should be able to get where they need to go here. The risk is high. If we wanted to, we could enact smoke detect, like mandatory smoke detectors, but it's going to cost us because we're going to be distributing them. It's probably going to cost us pretty much exactly what our profits are right now. But it's really nice to not have buildings burning down. Like, that's a huge bonus. Well, okay. People are basically asking for industrial areas, so I think we'll build another industrial area. And I will start bulldozing these windmills, but I think we have to wait until our power is just a little bit more stable. So I'm pretty much just going to build straight out here. And this will make it very easy for people to... I don't want to make this a curved road, actually. It'll make it very easy for people that work here to get to work. There we go. No, cancel it. And we're going to build it out, like, roughly to where this roundabout will end. And then connect it to the roundabout. It's going to bulldoze a house in the process, I think. Make people a little bit perturbed, but maybe we can build this up right here. And they shouldn't be so close to the population that they cause issues. I'm going to avoid zoning this commercial just for now because we still have like more commercial to fill up. I don't want to overzone and cause potential problems with like the density of our areas. I don't know if that's actually an issue, but I feel like it has been. Now this might cause a traffic problem at this roundabout, and there's already a little bit of a traffic problem at this roundabout. We could bulldoze this and make a large roundabout. Let me just compare the sizes of those. We don't have the money for it right now. It would take up a lot more space and probably require doing a lot of work that I'm not necessarily thrilled about. Let's just put it that way for now. All right, let's look at our loans. 16 weeks left on that one. I'm a little wary about this. Oh, right, we need to water this up. I kind of want to just, like, stay in our pretty good financial situation right now, and then, you know, when we get the ability to make another loan, expand a little bit. But we do have pretty high demand for more residential areas. One thing I'd like to experiment with as well is maybe we'll rezone some areas. Like, instead of having this be pure residential through here, we'll have... well, maybe not right next to the cemetery, you know, that might not be great for business, but like we can have some waterfront kind of stores, and we'll have some mixed-use zonage. I'm not pulling this out of my ass, obviously, but I think it's the kind of thing that might actually, you know, bring up property values in this area, and commercial will want to be there because it's closer to people. See, here's a little bit of a problem here, is the way we've got this set up. How far do we build down a residential street? Do we put like another roundabout here with an intersection in the middle? For now, I'm pretty much just going to take this opportunity to build like another 4-lane road down this way. Now, we don't have a ton of money, so it's not, we're not going to be able to build a huge area here. We'll build it like this, and then we'll make sure that we've got water coming out. What did I leave myself with? About 2,000 bucks. That should be enough to get some pipe laid here. And then we'll just zone this all as residential. Maybe with like some shops at the end of it, just to plan for the future. That was, yeah, really good placement there. Maybe we'll do it like this. I don't know. Residential demand's so high. Let's build it out like that. And then we'll build it out like this. And when we need some more commercial, or when the demand is high and the space over there is filled, we'll fill up this space. So actually what we should do is dezone this for now so we don't have to run a power line. And I think we're going to need to rename that district. Round Hook doesn't really seem like the right way to run it anymore. Financially, it's going pretty well, but I'm a little wary because I can't really afford to raise taxes too much. Yes, we should get public transit going. I had to kind of bail myself out of my earlier problems before I started thinking about new things. But the good news is that, you know, fairly soon we'll be able to take out that $200,000 loan. And we get another $20,000 loan pretty quickly as well. My logic is, what town of 2,500 people has a public bus service? Come on now. Grew up in a town, you know, varying from 1 to about 150,000, and there were no buses in the town of 1,000. Let's just put it that way. In the city of 150,000, there was a bus service, but it was a little, you know. Don't tell me you're having problems finding workers, considering there's huge demand for industrial and a major kind of thoroughfare right here. Traffic's still looking pretty good, though, for now. And that's a big, you know, that's a big thing, the for now part of this. Is our commercial area, Ryokan rectangles, pretty much all filled up, so I'm going to take this opportunity here to zone a little bit more commercial space. Like right there. And we'll keep a lot of that for residential as well. And hopefully that'll fill out organically in such a way that I don't need to run any power. People are complaining about no parks. Look, I'll give you a small park. You thought the cemetery's pretty scenic. You know, there's one for you right there. That's going to help you out. And I'll put one even over here, even at the cost of, like, these 4 houses. Bet you're not going to be that stoked to get a park when I have to kick, like, 4 people out of their houses to make it happen. Just hope you're not one of the 4 people, I guess. Now we have no demand for commercial, so I actually want to, like, de-zone the residential here. I should probably have done that before. We can always zone this residential and then zone commercial on the other end of it, but... Are we really, like, that's... Our demand for residential is that high? Well, I mean, it might... We can always rezone this later. There's straight up no demand for commercial right now. So I'm just going to zone this whole thing. It's already hooked up for water. We might as well be benefiting from it. I do want to take a look at the new land, actually, to see how this city will grow. So probably the next thing I would buy would maybe be over here. We're going to have to build a huge bridge. It's going to be very expensive. The other thing we could do is do it down here, but that's also going to be very expensive because we're going to have to build under, which basically requires like another highway off-ramp and on-ramp. So that's going to, they're both going to be pricey. This one might be better. It might not be, though. There's no way to get around this. Like, we can't build another highway like intake and outtake because we won't own the land that the highway's on. Although I guess we totally did that anyway here, but maybe that's just like a one-swipe deal because, I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to build a big bridge. Or we'll have to build another on-ramp. I think it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Population's growing well. We could use another advanced wind turbine for sure. And a lot of industrial space is desired here. If we get to the capital necessary to build another advanced windmill, we could probably bulldoze. I don't really want to. I want to wait until our next loan. Oh, okay. I can actually take out this loan again in 3 weeks, which will help out. I mean, could we just pay it now? If we pay it now, how much is it? Payment left, 817. Let's pay it now so that we can just take it immediately. And then what we'll do is throw down another generator here at 20 megawatts. And what's our power situation? That's going to go from 49 to 69. Okay. And then we're going to bulldoze. We don't need to bulldoze them all yet. But we do need to bulldoze like these 3. And that's going to take out like 18. Yeah, now we're only at 51. And growing. So I actually think with that loan, pretty much this is what we've done. Is just, we created power and we created space. Yeah. And you know, there's going to be a lot of people that probably disagree with the way that I did that. And those people are not necessarily going to be wrong. But this is kind of like the, you know in Apollo 13 they had to like shoot the moon? That's kind of what we're doing here. This is where we shoot the moon. This is where people go, hey, you know, your city's fucked up, but you gotta destroy the old infrastructure to make room for the new infrastructure. I think that this is a pretty nice kind of, well, what do you mean space already occupied? Distance too short on the curve. I get, okay. We're gonna start like this, and then maybe build out like another straight road just a little bit here. Just to give us a little bit more space for an intersection in the future. And then we're going to do, there's so much demand for industrial that we're going to pop industrial down like all over here. And we need to get it piped up here. There's a real problem with probably the people in the residential area not being able to get to work. That's something I am a little concerned about. Traffic is pretty good though, so I think we can get away with it for now. And I'm going to zone a little bit of commercial space up. That's industrial. And zone a little commercial space up here. Just because there is some demand for it. There's also demand for residential. Now, we do need to build, at some point, a police station. Oh, no, wait. We don't have crime problems anymore. How did that happen? I guess I could just, instead of building another station, I could just increase the budget. Michael L. Fox watched my Cities series. He's got a little bit of an education in urban planning, and I say a little bit because he had a great education in it, but that he took no advantage of. He's one of my best friends, and I'm just talking shit. Don't you bug him about it. He said one of the things that was really like most facepalm-inducing about Scumtopia 1 was the fact that you had like a connection right on the highway, so there was a huge bit of traffic congestion. So what I'm instead going to have is, I don't want to call it a spiral, but it's going to like loop in a little bit. The reason I don't want to call it a spiral is because I'd hate for you to have to drive like 7 right turns and then go through a cul-de-sac or something to come back around the other side. That's not helping anybody out. So we'll probably have like un-intersection connection. The question is where, and it's a good question. I think what we could do is, as well as elevated roads, and admittedly I'd never really seen or thought of the purpose of elevated roads. But if we could connect like an elevated road directly to this residential area from here, that could save a lot of problems with traffic. And it doesn't actually take up much space in our city because it's above the ground. Alright, so I gotta look at crime quickly, and probably fire. Crime, we got some problems. Fire, we got some problems. But let's throw down a police station like right here-ish. And hopefully that'll deal with the crime problems in this area. And we don't have enough money for fire. But that's okay. I think things are actually going really well right now. Now, admittedly, our population growth has stagnated a lot as a result of our, as a result of the fact that we haven't built any new areas. So I think what we're going to do, we've got like a stable equilibrium here. When do we hit high density residential? Because that's where things are really going to start to kick off here. 5,500. So we're about 1 milestone away. But I think we can get away with building a little bit more residential space first. Where am I going to build it? Well, that's a very interesting question. I think we're going to start with yet another roundabout, like right here, a small one. We're going to build it like that. And I don't necessarily want to bulldoze this road yet, because they built an elevated road for me, which is actually pretty nice. And then the question becomes, you know, how do we do this? I mean, ideally, I guess what I would do is I would, like, just connect this and then this. So I would just extend, like, this area over here, but we don't have the money for that yet. But we can keep that in mind for the future. So this is going to look a little messy temporarily. But the idea is that in the future, it becomes... Oh, one more space. It becomes not so messy. So we're going to zone this predominantly residential. Maybe entirely, but I'm just not totally sure yet. We need more residential space, like, immediately. So that's what we're going to do. Let's just take the paint tool and do it like this to avoid as much messiness as possible. So in case I didn't articulate that clearly, and I think I probably didn't, what I'm thinking is we, instead of having this, like, little loop for the exit ramps here, we're going to have, like, this will connect to this. Although that's one way. No, that's two way. Okay. This will connect to this, which will then run down here to, like, another roundabout, which will connect to this. I need to pipe up this area. I forgot. Thereby just kind of, like, expanding the loop for the exit, hopefully without causing too many traffic issues. But it will create a little bit of an issue. It'll create a little bit of an issue, financially speaking, and also with these power lines, now that I think about it. But for now, it should be okay. And residential demand is low, but industrial demand is quite high. A building is burned down. It seems bad, but honestly, this is probably like the latest I've ever had my first building burned down. So I'm not going to say that it's necessarily an enormous positive, but I don't think it's necessarily that bad either. I think we can get away with... Actually, you know what? We might be able to bulldoze all the power lines. Let's be extremely cautious about this, but we'll start with just one small stretch, and we'll keep it on speed 1 for now. And we'll just wait to see if it F's up. My thinking is these ones are directly powered, and these ones are directly powered. So if we bulldoze all these, do we have a chain of power running all the way around? I think we do. I almost bulldozed that building there. We're good? Yeah, okay. Everything still has power. How about now? Still power, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty confident in my design here. Oh, snap. Okay, there's an issue. Because we don't have a connection running here to here. Alright, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Just to maximize our space. Oh, there's a connection running there to there. How do you not have power? This is what I'm... This should work. This should work. Like, you're directly powered. People are going to be pretty pissed in about a second here, which is why I'm nervous, but... Well, the line I just broke was like this to this. Aw, shit, what have I done? No, there... Wait. Why, like, you should have power. You're connected directly. Okay, maybe I should just not mess with it. But it really seems like... Is it... you know what it probably is that not all of our stuff is on the same grid. We have, like, one grid over here that maybe ends here, and then this grid doesn't directly connect to anything. Let's just not mess with it for now. And I do mean for now. We'll change that pretty soon. There's still an enormous demand for residential. Sorry, for industrial. That tells me that people don't want to move to my city as much because there's not so many jobs. We want to avoid building way too much industrial too quickly, because then there will be too much business. Business will go out, and that'll be bad for us as well. Business will go under, I should say. So for now, I'm just going to put this like this, and traffic is going to be fucked here. I'm just going to be honest with you. And we'll zone this like this. We have to be very cautious, so I'm going to use the fine-tooth brush here. We have to make sure that we don't zone anything on the wrong side of this area. Anything that's connected to our intake road. Because then there will be industrial trucks stopping on our intake roads, which will really, really mess with our traffic. For now, though, I gotta say, we got out of our financial hole, and I'm actually really, really happy with the way that that the city's going right now. I mean, there's some inefficiencies, but I think if you're watching my videos, you should reasonably expect to find inefficiencies in pretty much everything that I play. I'm just trying to think about districts here as well. So, I mean, for now, we'll just keep, like, Nor-Round Hook as our name in this area. Ryokan Rectangle will stretch up just, like, a little bit here. Fill in the ugly gap. And then, Railway District comes up all along this side. I still think Railway District is the best name out of all of these. But it's going all right, and we're gonna hit our next population milestone. It doesn't seem like we're gonna have much trouble getting there. Economically speaking, we're in a great position. Just want to keep a good look on power and water. You know what? While we have the capital and while we're making money, I think it would be a good idea to build another one of these. And, you know, you can see how powerful these are. They're getting about 20 megawatts each. And if you're playing the first map and you're like, I'm not getting 20 megawatts, I'm only getting like 7. Once you buy a second plot of land that has a little bit more water space on it, you get 20. It's just you start with a little bit less. And this is going pretty well. We got a little bit of crime. Not too much, though. Occasional fire. That's not too bad, though. And there's still huge demand for industrial. That's the way I want it, because the way that most of my cities have collapsed so far, if and when they've collapsed, is building way too much space so demand falls to 0, and then it's really hard, because if residential demand falls to 0, you can't support new businesses. If you can't support new businesses, then people don't want to move there. It's an issue. So our one roundabout's getting a little wonky. Our other one's kind of getting there as well. But for now, I've got to admit that I think traffic is working out a little bit better than I'd originally anticipated. Garbage, we're at 58% of our landfill usage. We get incineration factories at 5,500. So we're, again, one milestone away. It might not be the worst idea to build a bus. To build a bus line that we can use here. I also kind of wanted to see if, like, we could build an elevated road here, but I'm not sure. Like, if we build this and page up, can we get it up high enough, quick enough to get over this without demolishing these buildings? Like, we could definitely curve one back and put it, like, over here, but what's the point of that, you know? It's also very expensive. Like, it's 300 on the ground. One level up is 790, and it just gets more expensive as time goes on there. I kind of think we might be able to go over the building, though. I'm going to try it here. And if we end up losing our shirt on it, so be it. So that's like the steepest we can build is like 3/2, I guess. Then there's buildings in the way. No, I don't. You don't understand. I don't want to make an intersection. That's the exact problem here. All right, keep it paused for a second. Thinking maybe we bulldoze, get a little bit of our money back, and bulldoze like one more square of this. And that's not going to make those businesses too happy, but that's okay. This is my first experience with elevated roads, which means I'm probably making a terrible decision here that will actually make our traffic worse. But I gotta give it a shot, I think. So we can build like that. Oh, that's so expensive. And can we go over? Oh, you're telling me I gotta bulldoze that anyway? That kind of sucks. But it'll look cool as heck. And then we'll take it down. What do you mean that's too steep? That's not steep at all. We want to get down there as soon as possible, though. What a hideous road. This could not look worse. Let's just take this up a little bit, then down. All right, now we're back on the road. That only cost us, like, all we had. Let's let some time tick by, because I need the amount of money necessary to... What is your problem? Did I end up demoing power lines to do that? That doesn't seem like how this should work. Like, how are you not powered? You're not connected to the other grid I made? Does this fix all my issues? I thought I had power sorted, honestly. So now every time I have like a problem with it, I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Alright, so now we have this terrible bridge where people just get to the end in this cul-de-sac, and it's not very good. It's not very safe. But we just want to build like a 4-lane road like this. And we're going to keep it D-zoned for now. This is basically just so these residents can easily get to this area over here. Was it a good idea? I have no idea whatsoever. I think it'll put more stress on the roundabout, admit it, or maybe less, as people will be coming home using this. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. But I think it's my first foray into raised roads, and as a result, I'm happy with it. There's still more industrial demand, which at this point, I can't really be anything but flattered. Let's try to bulldoze as few buildings as possible here. If I can only get one from the top and then like 3 here, that's probably the best I can do. And we'll just zone this up. Now I am expecting that this is going to cause, it's going to cause problems. Residential demand being at 0 is not good because people are like, you know, the lifeblood of your city. Financially speaking though, we're doing awesome. And, you know, more businesses can't hurt. And because we have this sweet-ass bridge here, I think we got a pretty good chance at eliminating some traffic problems. I need to look at fire. We've been having some fire-related incidents here. These people have no coverage. We're making enough money that I think I can pass the policy for smoke detector distribution. And we'll see how much that affects us. I expect it to take us down to maybe like 800 income. You're not piped up yet? Okay. I hate to spend so much on... It's kind of a redundancy pipe-wise. A little expensive, but that's okay. We might actually fall into the red here temporarily. But we've killed industrial demand, which in a way is a good thing, if you don't think about it too hard. Before we do anything else, though, we should build more residential. And how are we gonna... This is gonna be bulldozed, so I don't want to build over here. I don't really want to build over here either, but... I'm going to. Like, just zone, like, a little bit more residential. But it's gonna break the freaking power lines, man! I got this whole city is effed up with the power line usage. What I want to do is zone more residential before we fall into the red, before we like fall into straight up debt, not just making less money than we making less money than we spend, but I want to make sure that we actually get to zone more residential before we run out of money, basically. So just, you know, temporarily, I'm gonna zone like the world's smallest residential area, and we'll talk about this in the future. This is a great place to live, though. There we go. And it's going alright, I gotta say. I probably should rein this shit in financially so that we don't have to worry about taxes being raised again, because if we raise them past like 12 or 13, it's gonna end up pushing some people out of our city. Now, we do have an abandoned building. That's never a good sign. Abandoned building usually means, like, low demand. They did give me some cues. They're like, hey, we don't have enough customers. Well, I just bulldozed that building instead of clicking on it to examine the problem. But if you could just bulldoze your problems, hey, wouldn't you want to? Now these new industrial areas are saying, hey, we don't have enough people here in the city to support our business. So they're going to leave pretty soon, but luckily, we're about to hit a milestone. Within the next few weeks, at worst. Also, admittedly, man, it's going to be a nightmare if you live in this part of the city trying to get to this part of the city. We need to make some other connection. Maybe an elevated road, like from here all the way, but it's going to break the power line. That's a problem we'll deal with in our next episode. I'm just happy we're in the green again, financially speaking. Green, red, black, I can't keep it straight, but in any case. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you have, click the like button, especially considering it's kind of like the reboot of a series. It would help out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.